What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, it's been a while since I last uploaded a video. Just haven't had anything to record. But not only that, just been really busy with life, work, kids, mainly work. But you guys know how it is. But anyways, today we're going to be lowering my little brother's truck. It's an '03 extended cab, the CATEYE he calls it. But he wanted me to help him lower it, and I figured why not record it. Show you guys how we're going to do things, and just show you guys the basics. I know most of you guys already got drop trucks, but we're going to be showing you how we're going to do it on his truck. But other than that, I still got the same Yonkers, my '05 Sierra here, my wife's truck. I haven't touched the trucks at all, so you guys haven't missed much, honestly. The only thing I got rid of was the '92 Yukon two-door. We might be getting that back, though, if I can work a deal with my father-in-law. So if we get it back, we're going to be doing a lot more upgrades to it. So, yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Let's get started. Alright guys, so this is pretty much where we're at with the truck right now. The only thing I've done is remove the bed, had my little brothers help me out with that, since, that thing's pretty heavy. But after you remove the bed, there's pretty much what you're gonna have, He does have helper airbags right now. Don't know if we're gonna be leaving those on just yet. I guess we'll see after we get everything sorted out here. But first thing you're gonna do is remove your drive shaft. It should be 4 bolts, 11 mil. Then you're going to want to remove your shocks. It should be 21 millimeters, top and bottom, I believe. So you're going to need a wrench, socket, and you're going to want to put a jack underneath the rear end, because you don't want to loosen up the shocks while, just leaving the rear end hanging like that. You want to put a jack, take some pressure off those shocks, makes it much easier too. So after that, obviously, we still got to remove the shackle, U-bolts, all that stuff. So this truck already has 2-inch drop hangers, so we're only going to be installing the flip kit, which flip kit it should give us 6 inches. That's already going to give us 2 inches, so it should be at an 8-inch drop at the rear. Once we're all done, underbed notch from Reklez, and we're going to go ahead and relocate the shocks as well. That way, he has a smoother ride. So in order to get the 6 inches with the flip kit, you're going to want to put it on top, like we have here. The flip kit's already installed, tying down. So right now, pretty much what we're doing is we're trying to find the center of the notch with the rear end. So in order to do that, you're going to want to pick up your rear end and lift it all the way up till it hits the frame, or as close as you can get it, right? And then you're going to want to figure out where you're going to weld your notch at. So you're going to want to find the center of the notch right here and line it up with the rear end. And pretty much, wherever it matches up, tack it in place, and from there, you can start doing your welding. But it's pretty simple if you've done this a few times. Other than that, we do have the shocks off, and not quite sure if we're gonna have to notch this cross member out here for the drive shaft. This truck does have a 2-piece drive shaft from factory, so don't know if that's gonna be an issue just yet. By the time we're done, it should sit at 8-inch drop. So you guys can see we got the notch welded in place. Reklez notch. We got the crossbar for the shocks. We had to relocate them. We didn't have to, but we did, just so you can get a smoother ride out of it. Facing up and down gives you a smoother ride. And down there we got adjustable brackets. I'm pretty sure they're meant for coilovers, but it works for this setup as well. So you can always adjust the shock if needed. So all we pretty much got left to do on this truck is paint all the raw metal. But you can see where the notch sits. So what's really cool about this Reklez kit, the notch kit, is you don't even have to center it, as I mentioned before. Show you right there. All you do is just put it in place, and that piece right there matches up with the frame. So that's how you know the notch is going to be center. Pretty cool. I didn't know that. In the last clip I mentioned to you guys, make sure you're, rear end the center with the notch before cutting or welding. So that's what's really cool about this Reklez kit. It just kind of just goes into place where it should. They make it where it's super easy. So, and no, I'm not being sponsored by Reklez. Just, pointing out that when you pay for good quality parts, you get good results. So anyways, that's where we're at with the truck. And as far as the bed goes, when you do an underbed notch, you do got to cut out the cross member here. Otherwise, the bed won't sit on the frame like it should. So pretty much like a cross member like that. There's one there, and you have to cut it out. See, there it is. We also cut this out right here. But after you cut that out, it should sit on there like it should. And all we gotta do is just paint that as well. So let me paint this stuff and hopefully have the truck on the ground and show you guys how it looks. Reklez underbed notch, relocated the shocks, 6-inch flip kit with the 2-inch drop hangers up front. This truck already came with that because when we pulled off the bed, we noticed that we were planning on running 2-inch drop shackles, but since it already has the hangers, we said just leave it alone. We'll just install the flip kit altogether. Gives us an 8-inch drop. Remember I mentioned to you guys, didn't know if I was gonna have to notch that cross member out. I think we should be good for the most part. Worst case, if we hear it rubbing, we will have to notch that out. But for now, the drive shaft should clear. You got, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches clearance there. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys what it looks like before we throw the bed back on. So all right, so as far as the front end goes, this is where we're at with it. Pretty much got everything off. Lower control arm, upper control arm. We got the brake caliper hanging by a zip tie. There's part of the suspension we're going to be reusing. Talk more about it here in a minute. But here's the old parts that are pretty much worn down. So it's definitely not a must to do all this, but if you're like us, I mean, we're here now, you might as well just take care of what you need to take care of, you know, instead of going back later. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. Since we're already here, we're gonna go ahead and replace pretty much everything we can, since we know the suspension hasn't been touched on this truck in a long time. So, and over there we got the DJM lower control arms. That's how we're gonna be achieving our 4-inch drop. Don't mind the cat. But with those control arms, we can reuse the stock spring. And I mean, I ride those in my 05 Sierra. Haven't had an issue yet. But on my truck, I do have the upper control arms as well, DJM. He's going with the stock control arms for now. You know, he's on a budget. You know, he's working part-time and going to college. So, you know, you can only do what you can. But yeah, let me go ahead and install this and I'll get back with you guys. All right, guys, so I'm going to be doing a voiceover on this video simply because the wind was not working in my favor this day. So here we have my little brother's 2003 Chevy Silverado. It's an extended cab, obviously. He calls it the CATEYE. So it's sitting on a 4.8 drop. Front end, we redid the whole suspension. It has DJM lowering control arms that drop at 4 inches, obviously. I know I didn't record a whole lot on the front simply because we were working against the clock that day. We had to get the truck aligned that same day because he does use the truck for work and school, as I mentioned. So, you know, time was not really with us that day. But as far as the back goes, you guys pretty much saw everything. We did relocate the shocks so they're facing up and down. It has a 6-inch flip kit. This truck already came with 2-inch drop hangers. We were planning on running 2-inch drop shackles, but once we seen the hangers, we just, you know, let it be. It does have an underbed notch by Reklez. So he did get some newer wheels off of Yukon. I believe like the 07 and up body style and MBS. They're sitting on 245, 65, 17-inch tires. These wheels are just going to be for now. Meanwhile, he looks for some better ones. You know, like I mentioned, he is a student, you know, working part-time, so he don't have a whole lot of money to play with. It was just something to get him by for now, you know, because obviously the stocks they came with were rubbing. So these are just a little something, you know, make it look a little better. But yeah, 4.8 drop. This is how she sits. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Catch you guys on the next one.